What's going on, everybody? It is me back. The 10 Wins channel is still alive. It's just been days because you know, it's a grindy game actually. It's just a grindy game. All right. Let me just hash you really quickly through the news here. We're still here. It's still a mess. I still haven't really created a base yet, but I've been working on it. It's coming along, and I realized that I needed something better to get materials with, especially wood, other stone, and metal is always a thing. So I've been investing my time into that. Why not do it now while I'm building something and going to be building? We got to build a big farm thing and protect it. I might as well do that now instead of later, right? I built, let me see, so, I don't know, just show you the inside real quick. There we go, there it is! Yeah, so obviously it's not finished, still going, but, and obviously it's a bit of a mess, like everywhere, but it's coming along, and let's see. Oh, so, yeah, as the cars sit on a slight slope, they usually just start sliding just ever so slowly down the slope over time. And this creates a lot of FPS lagging. And I've had a lot of issues recently with the game crashing, not crashing to the desktop, just freezing over and not responding. Fortunately, it doesn't do that to my entire computer, so I can just, Control-Delete Task Manager out of it and close it down. And yeah, so this has been a real big issue. So oh yeah, and I also got a frame rate limiter, a little thing I downloaded, some app, and it limits the frame rate. So I've limited it to 120 because as I was working on my big machine for harvesting, whenever I jack it up, most sounds in the game become, well, they just disappear. Sometimes it's the cone of silence when you jack it up. There's just no other sounds in the game. I don't know why. It's like when you put something on a jack, the game has to throw a lot of resources into figuring out all the mechanics of what you've jacked up. It's a lot of calculations all at once, and I don't know. The game can't handle it. I know my computer can. It's a fairly new computer, and I bought it as a gaming PC. It's quite powerful. I haven't done any overclocking or anything because I don't know anything about it. But it's a very powerful computer, and it runs other games pretty well. And this one, it has a problem. So I jack it up, and this happened especially when I would whip out the welder tool. It was jacked up and there'd be something, I'd even point the welder tool, just slowly point it at something, and the game would freeze. So yeah, this game still needs some decent optimization when it comes to that sort of thing. Also, oh yeah, and I noticed it would always freeze, my frame rate would suddenly shoot to over 200, and it would be in the 250s, 280s, something like that. And that's always when my game would freeze, is when my FPS was the highest. So, knowing nothing, I decided, well, what if I could, limit the FPS? And there's no setting in the game, so I downloaded a limiter, and that has helped tremendously. That has helped a lot of the problems. So yeah, I've built this here to help keep the game running smooth around my base. I don't know if it's this area. I think this area may be framey. Not really sure. This desert area. I know that this area. So an interesting thing I've noticed about the map is that when you move further away from that original crash site, you get more of a lot of things. You get more warehouses. You get more burning zones. You get more farmland. You get more cotton zones. You get different structures that you can raid. Taller ones that give you the a high chance of a yellow crate at the top, and there are a lot more of the red crab-like size bots in the woods. The woods are often loaded with them. There's always going to be 1, 2, or 3 in the woods, and yeah, I've had my trouble with that. In other news, so I've built this, and this isn't the original build that I had, but thanks to the channel iBallistic Squid, this is not his invention, because I believe most of the stuff he does he gets from somewhere else. But this is a engineless car. It's powered by this this what do you call it? It's not called a rotation editor, but whatever. I'll show you this. So what you do is you hook up one of these and it powers your car. And we're gonna take this. So we're gonna oh. So it's burning no gasoline right now, right? So a lot of you probably know about these things. I didn't know you could do this. So I had no idea. You can actually hook up one of these. Oh, what the fuck are they called, man? It's an interactive. It's a controller. It's a controller. All right. So you can hook a controller up to the driver's seat, and when you press forward and back, it can act as a forward and reverse. I had no idea. If I'd have known that, I might have successfully made my flying machine. I had no idea that you could do that in the game. Oh, sorry. But anyways, so I saw on his channel, he did this, and what you do is you just get some piping, or let's say I did use these before, but I believe because of the way these rotate together and something like that, it doesn't work quite well, so I went for the tubing, and that seems to work very well. Also, having something on the outside as a functional brace and suspension arm, this is really, I think, quite important. Yeah, and anyways, so you hook these up. Actually, I have 2 in here. One of them's not being used, so that one is being used. This one's not being used. Yeah, so I can actually pull that off. This is actually a level 5. But yeah, so what you do is you put the bearings on like this, and then you put a wheel on each end. It's just a tube with a bunch of bearings, and then you hook it up to this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. Don't go like I did as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just do all one side and then do all the other side, and then make sure the blue arrows are all facing the same way. Hook it up to your controller, go into your controller, everything that's hooked up, go to the second row, and just put 360 and make sure you click the loop, make sure it's highlighted, and then put it on fast, and then you have, hook up your suspension however you like, and then you have a gas-free vehicle. It's not the fastest thing, but it isn't slow. I think it used to be faster, but I added more wheels on the front. Yeah, so I had, oh my god, I had, before it was this in the back, and then everything in front of this driver's seat was this beautiful tubing, and it was a perfectly working double wishbone suspension, and it was a perfect blend of style and function. Everything was, everything in there was part of it, but it was also shaped, and it was like styled. It looked so cool. If I took a picture of it, which I hope I did, I'll put it in the video now. But yeah. Anyways, so I was driving it, and this is actually the second time that this had happened on this car. I have bad luck with this car. I was like, oh, okay, I think this is my shortcut. I can just go through the woods or between the woods here. I'll be careful. I'll be really careful. And, about the size bots. And I was pretty sure that was my shortcut location. It wasn't my shortcut location. Couldn't see too many trees, branches, leaves in my camera. Couldn't see anything. As soon as I entered the woods, I hit a tree. It sent me spinning into a rock. I got wedged between a tree and a rock, and there was a size bot right on the other side. So I immediately jumped out and started running, but the size bot completely wiped the front of my car. Everything from the driver's seat on was just it wasn't there anymore. but miraculously, my bed and everything else was still intact. But yeah, everything from here onward, all the suspension, everything was just gone. And that was the second time that had happened. Before I had a not so good setup. Anyway, so I've done this. This is actually it looks cool, but actually it's just basically it's a linear thing. You know, it's got a linear working suspension spring, and then it's got these the steering stacked on top of that. The only thing is that the suspension's been offset down here, so I can put it lower in the car so it looks better, and I think it does. And that puts that weight down lower and towards the middle of the car, which helps. And I was so tired. I was so tired of every car. Just as soon as you hit the gas, you're just spinning and spinning and spinning. Whenever you go off a flat surface, like you go slightly, you go up or down a grassy slope, and the only thing your car ever does is spin, spin, spin. And so I just got tired of it, and I put 2 wheels on the front. Yeah, and this helps rather than 2 wheels on the back. As you may have noticed from my truck, which is now over there, is, yeah, that's my truck right there. Completely, basically dismantled. All the important bits are gone. The frame and one spring remains. Yeah, I've been dismantling that because I don't need it anymore, and I needed the parts. But yeah, that truck was just... It was fast, and it was a good truck, and when it wasn't tipping over, it was really good, but you just went everywhere, sideways in it, despite it having 2 wheels in the back. It was 6-wheel drive, 2 wheels in the back, and you just... It was a sideways traveling vehicle. So I've done this, and it works out pretty well. When I turn, it actually turns, unlike my last setup, and it doesn't spin as easily. Anyways, we are going on a quick journey because I want to show you something. Doesn't that thing just look like a Lamborghini or something? I mean, look at that. It's like yellow. This is the first time I've used a painter. Yeah, I like painting things. Obviously, I need a lot more paint, but it's not all that easy to come by. Anyways, yeah, just totally looks like a Lamborghini. Anyways, I wanted to show you this. Yes, indeed, look at this. Now, I know you must be wondering, 10 Vince, what the fuck is that? And I am here to tell you, it is the All Miner. Because it mines everything that you mine in the game, which is stone and trees. Yeah, so it mines those 2 things. And of course from the stone you get metal, so that's almost 3 things. Right, and basically 3 things. And yes, that's what it is. It's the All Miner. Also nicknamed the Frame Eater because... Even it's perfectly not moving. It's like not moving at all right now, which is amazing. It's usually sliding somewhere, but right now it is. I am at 98 frames a second, a steady 98 frames a second on this perfectly level terrain, and this thing just eats frames. If it's near my base. Oh my god, I am running like 40 frames over there. And when I'm driving this, I will tell you, so be prepared. When I'm driving this, I don't know how it is when I'm recording, but when I'm driving this, it is a steady 20, 30 frames a second. And when I'm actually using it to get resources, it is down around 10 frames a second. Yes. So on the front is the mining equipment for stone. On the back is the great tree grabber. These 2 things, I actually saw a similar thing on Reddit, and that gave me this idea. The one I saw on Reddit had a kind of a opening, closing, like a jaw type of thing that would open and close around the tree. These things slide horizontally because... I thought that would be better. Actually, I did have one that was opening and closing, but it didn't meet at a 90 degree. It met at an angle, and I didn't think it was as good, so I ripped it off and I started all over again here in the back. And when I did start again in the back, I decided to also rip out the back floor. This was all flat back here, and it had all the engines and the tanks and everything. And I ripped all that out, put it upstairs, and now these things, they can slide all the way back. That's the only thing. If I sit in the driver's seat, see I have 1 through 10 buttons, and all of these are actually essential, but I couldn't get my 11th one where it slides back, so I put it right here. So that slides back here, and I can use this one, which is connected to the seat. I can use it to lower down to get more range. But yeah, so it can lower up and down back here. It can lower up and down up there when I'm mining the stone. And these things, it grabs a tree and uses the saw to saw it. Yeah, and then hopefully this thing is picking up the lumber as it becomes available. Usually I have to kind of move it around a bit, kind of keep backing it up to, help pick up the lumber that's falling around. However, I'm not sure exactly if this thing is actually finished yet, because I've realized something. You can never have enough saws. Because even though the saw is like intersecting the wood itself, halfway into the wood, it's not cutting it. So I don't know. The hitbox on these things is wrong. The hitbox on the wood bits is just wrong. It needs to be fixed. And right now, I think the only way you can do it is just fill this thing with saws. I just need to fill it completely with saws. There's not going to be an area in here that doesn't have saw in it, and then it will work. That actually might be what I'm gonna do, but it's actually working. I've got it to where it works pretty good now with just 4 saws. So let me, before we mine this rock, let me just show you here. So, I'm gonna mine this big tree back here. Actually, that is a really big tree, isn't it? But we'll try. This tree here on the left, it's got those branches, and for some reason I can't back up into those because of the branches. Except for very specific certain angles. Alright, so I'm gonna need to come at this from the other side. This is a huge tree, actually. Wow, that is massive. I don't think I've tried a tree this big before. That is huge. Alright. So, basically... Oh man, I gotta remember all the buttons. Okay, so there we go. So 8 gets it going. Oh, and 9 drops it down like that. So now the thing's dropped down. It should be... Oh yeah, so we're running 9 frames a second now, and... Yeah, so 0 brings the saws into the center more of this thing. And I think what's wrong is it's too big and it's actually holding it up in the air. So what I can do is I can hit 9 and kind of stroke the tree a bit like that. Oh man, that is a huge tree. There we go. So there you can see it's breaking up a bit now. There we go. Things are falling off. I'm sorry, we're running 8 frames a second. Oh man, look how heavy that thing is. Okay, it's a pretty intense test of the machine here. There we go. No, I'm gonna take a risk here. I'm gonna try to open it up a little bit. There we go. Oh, finally it broke. And that one, oh, finally it broke. Alright, so can we get this one down? Oh! Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay. I could jostle it down a bit. Oh, it is kind of stuck on there, yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, okay. Alright, there we go, more cutting. Oh, and there it goes, falling down into the saws. Oh, cutting very nicely now. Wow, this bottom saws don't even do anything. This is such a huge. This is the biggest tree I've ever tried with this, and I haven't tried much with it. I did some testing. This is a pretty big test though. All right, and then it slides down back into the saws. Those things. Oh, hold on. Yeah, let me lower those so I can lower those. Hopefully, pick up more of the debris. There we go. Jostle it down. Oh, it's coming down. It's coming down. Actually, that saw is like, it's just resting on top of the spinning disc of the saw and it's actually sawing it. That's weird. Try to shake it down a bit. Oh, there we go. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. Oh, but we got it. Oh, back up to 18 frames a second. Yeah, we got it all. Did we lose any bits? And so we move these up like that. There they go. It can actually take from there. That's interesting. All right, and I'll just grab this one. It's kind of wedged in this rock here. There we go. Put it. Oh wow, those things are full. Oh, that's why it won't pick it up, because they're full. All right, insert. There we go. All right, and there we go. I can get up this way. Boom, boom. And I'm sorry, we're still running 16 frames a second, but that's just the nature. Ah, we did miss something. Ah, okay, so this came out of there. But that's actually pretty good, actually. That was a crazy tree, and this is all that didn't get sawn up. And so this is the only thing we have to smack with a hammer now. And it's all being ground up. Yay! Good job, machine. Yeah, it actually, yeah, it's doing pretty good. Oh no, there's one more. See how the blades, they like spin on those things like that? And they kind of move in to pinch the tree inside. Yeah, and then I can raise that back up for ground clearance. Maybe even... Oh, that closing it turns the blades on, so I won't do that. All right, there it is. The tree cutter has worked actually pretty well. That was like a redwood, and we sawed it up there. It was a pretty tight fit for even this big box back here, but we got it. You know, with the jostling it about and stuff. Yeah, we got it. And by the way, this thing has, yeah, 2 level 5 engines. The one is powering the outside wheels, one is powering the inside wheels. And I'm trying to see... I feel like having the 2 engines is more fuel efficient because this thing is so heavy. Not only is it big, but it's built out of this light kind of drilled aluminium bit, which isn't the strongest thing. I have a question. Do you happen to know that if building out of these less durable materials in some way creates more, say, flex in the body of the vehicle, and because there is more flex, that means that the computer is working overtime, and that's why I'm getting such bad frames a second whenever I'm even when I'm in render range of this thing, and when I'm driving it? Maybe that's why I'm getting such bad FPS, or maybe just because it's just big and all big things do that. I don't know. And it has a lot of moving parts. I don't know, but yeah. So it's got gas tank, 2 engines. One of these electric engines, this level 5, is powering the drills on the front. This one is powering the saws on the back. We've got... I got more batteries here for you. Yeah, and then I've got 2 chests back here. One is filling up. That one is full of gasoline and batteries. We got batteries for like a week. We got gasoline for like a day. And oh yeah. So everything is automated except for the the back and forth traversal of this thing. So unfortunately, I have to, when these things get full, I have to manually get up out of my seat in order to press this button, and then these things will start grinding. These two grinders will start grinding up those things. That is the only thing I have to get up out of my seat for. And it's a bit unfortunate, but I just could not put another grinder in here. It would just be too heavy. It would simply be too heavy. I need level 6 engines for that, but they don't have those. So we got that into the forward grinding position. We'll raise those back up for ground clearance, and we're gonna, as the night gets on, we're gonna tackle this behemoth of a rock structure here. As we mine things, it's just gonna get further and further from my base because, yeah, I don't want to. So obviously the grinders. That thing is a bit loud. Is it loud for you? Ah, that's better. Okay, I need a break from that. It's loud in my headphones, but yeah, these grinders, they pack everything into these for us. And yeah, I can just load them onto my car there. I got plenty of room, and take those home. And then next time I need to grind, I'll load them back up and stick them back on here. I've done mining with this before, and it's very complicated because I have to mess with buttons 1 through 6. Not to mention the raising and lowering this on number 7. So 1 through 6. So let's see. 1 starts my grinders. 2 lowers it down. 3 and 4 extend it out. 5 tilts this down, which is very useful. I might bring 3 in. Oh no, do 2. I might raise that up. 3 extends it out. Yeah, 4 extends it a little bit more. 5 does that, and 6, I'll show you. This is really cool. So 6 does a pincher action like that, and that is like really useful. So 5 and 6 are like really useful buttons there. All right, let's attack this thing. We'll start grinding it up. Yeah, so even though I'm grinding it, it doesn't like know it, so I'm just gonna use a pincher action there, and that'll kind of get more. Okay, here, let me, oh no, wrong button, I'm in reverse, sorry. I want to lower that down. Yeah, there we go. Lower that down. Might need to improve the force of all my pistons there. Alright, what button is that? 5. I can now tilt it a bit. Does that. There we go, that's about to break. Very good, very good. Oh, there it is. Okay, my number 2 button stopped working a bit. Okay, and now I'll grind up these by going down on them. There we go. We'll just push those a bit. Pick up the debris with number 7. There we go, we do this kind of action like that. Grind up those. So the whole point of this is so that I don't have to use my hammer. Or that I'm using my hammer as little as possible. Look at that, we got all of those, now we can just suck them up. Oh, let me lower that. There we go, suck them up, I said. Alright, good. And back into it. So using the hammer, it's not fast, but it's not slow either. However, it just uses a lot of food. So, you know, you end up doing a bunch of farming, and then you need, you know, to go mining, and then you need to do farming again because you used all your blueberries for smacking things with the hammer, right? After you've broken it loose with this thing. So we're not doing that anymore. We're gonna grind it all up. Look at that, as we're working, my grinders are turning this into logs that we can, or not logs, but blocks blocks that can go straight into the crafting bot. Alright, the engine's struggling to keep the mighty behemoth on the slope of the hill. We'll turn this up this way. There we go, 11 frames a second. We'll extend that out a bit more. There we go, do a pincher action. They are applying a lot of force, I can tell, like the pistons are bending upwards, so they're applying force on something, but nothing's breaking. Oh, well, it is actually we're doing 10 frames a second here, so actually everything's in about half speed slow motion, or actually maybe even less than that. It's like a third or a quarter speed slow motion, you know. Alright, so I'm gonna work on trying to clear up some of this loose rubble here. The front end of the car is going crazy. Alright, I gotta pull out, yeah. Oh, back up to... Whoa, wow, we hit 80 frames a second. Oh man, those bearings and pistons were going crazy there. Oh my god, yeah. Okay, it's going into crazy mode every time we, bounce now. The computer doesn't know what to do with it. Yeah, look at that, and the back suspension is like freaking out. I also think it's part of that slippery rock texture. Like it adds a whole nother level of physics whenever you approach it. See how we get off of it, and the smoothness and everything starts working correctly again. But as soon as we touch this kind of gray rock area, it just goes into freak out mode. Oh my god, I can't even steer. Look at the wheels. Oh my god, it's terrible. What is going on with this game? Okay. What is going on with it? Well, at least we're still mining it. Look at that. I mean, there's a lot of chunks everywhere, but we are getting through them. We are eventually mining them. Let me extend it out a bit more. So when I use number 4 to extend it out, they're actually on separate pistons, so if one is like jammed up against something, the other one can extend out. The first two are on the same kind of axle, and they extend out together. Okay, let me raise that up. Do a pincher action. Just... Oh yeah, that just totally got it. Nailed it. Right there. Oh, look at the slow motion explosion of rubble. Alright, come on, machine, get up there. Alright, let me lower this down onto those. Open the pinchers up a bit. Yeah, there they go. Oh yeah, it's like a lawnmower, this thing, in very slow motion. 9 frames a second motion. Alright, let's extend that. Oh no, that's there we go. We'll do this. Good. Extend those out. Everything is breaking, look at that. Everything in our path is breaking. Wait, go back. We need that. There we go. Kind of do this smash down technique here. Let's widen those. Should be able to get it now. Come from the other side. Oh, there we go. They're just falling before one by one. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, this kind of works actually pretty well. It just kind of keep them in this low position with them facing down, and you just kind of push everything along like a broom, and they break. and eventually, well, usually, yeah, I'm pushing that one along a bit too much. There we go, we got it. Yeah, as soon as I get off of that mound, the frames just go right up into near smoothness. Whoa, look at that! Oh my god, they're just flopping around. Ooh! Exploded the front end of my car! Oh, there we go. Okay, let's point this back up into our next target. There we go. Oh, everything is broken now. Okay, let's point this down into the targets below us. And we'll do kind of a smashing action here. Ooh, there it goes, right on top of the vehicle. Oh! Yeah, when the rocks break, like, it's like an iceberg. A tiny bit is poking up through the surface, it breaks, it falls under the map, and there's a mechanic in the map that when something falls down below there, at least it would seem, it respawns above the map and falls to the ground, which is good. So if I ever fall through the map, then I'll be saved instead of dying, like in Ark. Alright, let me point this back up. We'll face our foe here. Alright, let me get this in. There we go. Push it out. Ooh, big brakes there. There we go, get some smashing action. Usually works pretty well. Just lift up the entire front end of the vehicle as you smash down on the rocks. Alright, this tree is gonna have to go, I'm afraid. Oh, no. Oh, I... Back up. There we go. I don't even... But if we can find the right angle, we can actually get one of these. Alright, the tree's just gonna have to stay there. Alright, let's continue the grind. I need a tomato. I'm so thirsty, I just want a tomato. Oh. Okay, yeah. Well, that's amazing. That's the first time I've needed a drink. And I've basically almost completed. I mean, I was fairly full of food and water before. I can't remember, but yeah, I've almost completed. I got like what, two of these left, and that's the first time I've ever needed a drink or anything. So yeah, pretty good, and I'm getting the hang of it. You know, this is it's been. I think this is the. It's been what? I think it's been one night. It's been 2 nights and 1 day since we've been doing this, I think. And yeah, but I am getting the hang of it. I'm finding out what works, you know. And there we go. Let me just hit that. Can we get it? Come on, tree, get out of the way. There we go. Let me reel it in towards me here. There we go. No? There we go, we got it, okay. Alright. Oh, we got it, okay. And there we go, the whole thing cleaned up, and I only had to get out of my seat 1 time, and that was because I was thirsty and I needed a tomato, which we got because we brought it with us. And we didn't use it all when we were doing the mining. Oh no, look, I missed 1 more. Oh, you're joking. Okay, 5, 4, there we go. And we got it. Okay, it's all been gotten. There it is, it's all, so yeah, look at that. I didn't have to lift a finger, except for a lot of driving. It was a lot of driving. Oh man, these slippery mounds are just so aggravating. It is why I don't know, but yeah, these things are full of our metal and stone. Look at that. The whole thing is in there, and I didn't lift a finger. Epic. And that's so we'll just leave that there. We'll probably go mining again. Yeah, so I'll just hop in the Lamborghini and go home again. Yeah. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed the all miner and the frame eater. If you've had better ideas, that was very complicated, but once I was getting the hang of it and I was discovering what works, it was going a lot faster towards the end. It's definitely a skill that requires practice in this particular machine, but and I'm sure there are better miners that you know something where you just you build it maybe in the middle, but this is pretty mobile, and I'm doing all the collecting at the same time, and I'm doing all the grinding at the same time. So yeah, once I get practice in and I get the feel for it and I get all the buttons, I'm terrible at remembering buttons, like really bad. And there's 10 of them, so yeah. And it doesn't help that everything is literally in super slow motion because of the frames. But let me know if you've had any of the same issues. Let everybody know if you've had any of the same issues with large builds, complicated builds, and dropping frame rate. Look at that. Nobody's doing anything right now. I'm getting 11 frames a second. 11 frames a second. Let me put this thing up on a jack. And the sound cuts out, but I'm back up to max frames a second, 120. Put it down on the jack. The sound comes back, and we're now we're fixed. About 100 frames a second. Yeah, just kind of iffy stuff with I think the game just needs to be I don't know. They've been doing it for 4 years. I don't know. Maybe there's something different added to the mix on survival mode, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I can't really control that, but yeah, everything was kind of in slow motion there the most of the time. It wasn't until we completely got off of that gray mound that things actually, became a normal speed. But yeah, total slow motion there. So that kind of made this video maybe a bit longer. Anyways, thumbs up for the all miner and the frame eater. Thumbs up for the video. I hope you enjoyed the channel. I hope you enjoy the series. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.